Working with broke clients is not going to make you any money. Fuck! People that don't have money to spend won't put any in your pocket. There are a small number of positives that come from working with Brokies. I will go over how to avoid them.
Why are you running?
But also the best ways to leverage them if you're stuck and currently working with them as a non-paying or a low-ticket client. Now, my experience with broke clients, at first I worked for people for free just to get that experience, and that was done purposefully. Now, there's two types of broke clients, right? Either a client you sign that won't pay, or one that you started out for free like I did. Now, once the service is proven to be good, or you want to upsell them on something, they don't want to pay because you've been feeding them, and now you're going to continue feeding them, but now they have to do something on their end, right? They have to put in some energy. And humans just don't want to do that naturally. Transitioning from my free to paid clients is like trying to drag an elephant through the mud. And most of them are extremely stubborn when it comes to receiving value now, but giving something in return. You know, that's just human nature. That's psychology right there. To get into my experience, right? The first client that comes to mind was one that I built a website for, an automation, and I even did consulting. I kind of went beyond my initial scope, but you know, I was being nice. I was trying to get that market experience. Obviously, I always get something on my end from working with these guys, whether that's insider knowledge or whatnot. And I provided all of these services up front, and we agreed on payment later, right? But there was no contract, none of that. It was just starting out, and I felt pretty open with these guys. So especially for the website and the consultations and all that, I was going to charge him, and we agreed on it. And he agreed. But we all know, broke people, they don't have money. They won't put any money in your pocket, you know, if they're barely just getting by. So a month and a half later, I still cannot extract the money from this guy. And he still expects me to provide the service and keep the website up and running. Needless to say, I won't be working with him any longer. Now, before you get into the situation that I'm currently in, and it also sucks because when you're messaging them to, hey, you know, pay the invoice, I sent over the invoice, pay the invoice, you're also kind of giving off the tone of being very needy, which doesn't even help the case. So it's kind of a lose-lose scenario. If they won't pay, they won't pay. And if they're frugal, you don't want to do future projects with them because you know you won't get paid for that. It's just a dead end. But here's how to avoid working with broke clients. Number one rule beyond anything else is get paid before you do the service, whatever it is. This sounds great, but the only issue people have with it is that you need a track record. You need a track record to back that demand. The demand that they should pay you first before you even get to work. Otherwise, you're asking clients to blindly trust you based off of your charisma alone. That's why working purposefully for free at the beginning is important to build up that track record and, you know, have leverage in negotiations with clients that have money to spend. And if the free clients give you referrals, then obviously you charge those guys. And there will always be people that want the services first, then they pay you after. But in these cases, you have two options, right? If they're being really stubborn, you can't negotiate out of it and you feel like the deal is slipping away, you have two options. You can either hold frame and stick to payment prior to service and hope they respect it, or you can negotiate a payment up front and then some at the delivery phase. So for example, 50-50, depends on what you're doing. If you're stuck with a broke client right now, this part's for you. Gather all the data and testimonials you can, run their ad spend, get the traffic data, get the screenshots of the numbers you did for them, get all the case study material that you can use to reach out to people later, right? Get pictures of the services you provided. If you do something like pressure washing that's in person, then ask them for a testimonial or write one on their behalf and have them approve it. And this is like a really low barrier to entry. And I've actually done this for one of my clients because I knew he was too busy or this or just being lazy. So I wrote one on his behalf, sent it over to him. Is this like, can I post this? Obviously, beforehand, I spoke with him like, hey, in the future, you want to do the testimonial for me? He's like, absolutely. Then I wrote it up for him, sent it over, and he's just like, yeah, no problem. You can really farm testimonials that way. So that's step one, trying to extract as much as you can from the current situation that you're in, right? You can't sit there and regret it. Hold on to these broke clients until you get clients that pay you. Because saying that you're working with X number of clients in a sales call or just an outreach or voice memos, where I send voice memos a lot, it gives you a lot of social proof and negotiating power, right? Because your clients, the client that you're speaking to now knows, all right, well, this guy's not needy because he's already servicing other people. So if I, start acting like some hose, then he's just going to go back to his old clients. He doesn't need me. And especially you would be surprised by the power of you saying my other clients or some of my clients did X, for example, if they're in the same niche. I tend to do that a lot. And actually meaning it when you're speaking to a new guy, a real paying client. It gives you a lot of power there. And one last thing you can get from actually sticking around these broke clients until you get real paying ones is insider market knowledge, right? I think I already touched on this before. Getting to know their problems in deep depth, you're speaking to them face to face. There's no prediction, there's no forums, there's no posted 1 year ago. It's up to date and now. You can use for outreach and tweaking your offer, etc. If you guys have any questions about your particular situation or just want to share a funny or a horrifying story of working with a broke client, feel free to join the Discord. Link will be in the description. Small community I put together with some other YouTubers. Also, if you guys found something of value in this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out with the algorithm. And if you've made it this far, comment, I'm not broke. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.